Another election night. Another election night, everyone. Another election night. Exciting times. We're watching the elections in Michigan. Dr. Abdul El Sayed is cooking, right? Dr. Abdul El Sayed is cooking in Michigan. He's cooking big time, right? He's gonna wipe out Haley Stevens, hopefully, if Michigan voters coalesce around Abdul El Sayed, right? And the party establishment doesn't know what to do. Democratic Party establishment, the Republican Party establishment doesn't know what to do. They're like, Mitch McConnell is still MIA, missing in action. We got old people running the election, right? We got old people running the election, running for Congress over and over. We got Chuck Schumer farting on the Senate floor, right? We got Chuck Schumer farting on the Senate floor, uh, not wanting to get involved, even though he really put all his weight behind Haley Stevens in Michigan, right? He put all his weight behind Haley Stevens, all his clout. Now, all of a sudden, that Abdul Sayed is cooking, is doing good. Now he wants to act like he didn't know that he's not getting involved in the race. Even though everyone knows that Chuck Schumer had
Well, I call on you. I do. You get your chances.
There's no sign of the NDAA being brought up again on the GOP agenda this week. If the war in Iran is still going on in September, is it fair to say your caucus will continue to oppose
Look,
bringing up the
the Republicans should not expect, Trump should not expect business as usual when they're engaged in an aimless war that is raising the cost for American people, losing lives, tearing apart our alliances. No business as usual. Yes. Go ahead.
In Michigan, I know you endorsed Haley Stevens, but if Al Glenn wins this primary, will you endorse the winner of the primary?
Bottom line, we are going to win Michigan, take back the Senate, and have a majority. And Manu.
Thank you. Is the rise
so
of the DSA good for your party?
Look, we are a big tent party, and being a big tent party is a strength, not a weakness.
Leader Schumer.
Thank you, everybody.
okay. See, Chuck Schumer is denying publicly not wanting to endorse Abdul Sayed. You know what happened with everyone knows what happened with Zohran Mamdani. With Zohran Mamdani, he refused to endorse. Chuck Schumer refused to endorse Zohran Mamdani. He was a Democratic nominee, and he was upset. So when he's asked about democratic socialism, he's like, "We have a big tent. We're not gonna tell people how they should run, or how they should run, but Abdul El Sayed is not a socialist. He said it repeatedly. He's a capitalist, right? So what's the excuse of Chuck Schumer not wanting to endorse Abdul El Sayed? There shouldn't be no excuses for this endorsement. It should be an easy call for him to endorse Abdul El Sayed. But the problem is that they don't like that he's standing up to the big money interests. Do you know that Chuck Schumer is funded by AIPAC? Do you realize that, right? The Israel lobby loves Chuck Schumer. The Democratic Party establishment loves Chuck Schumer, right? The big pharma companies love Chuck Schumer, right? They love Hakeem Jeffries. They love him because Chuck Schumer will take their money. He doesn't have to fundraise that hard. He doesn't have to try that hard, right? He's like Donald Trump, same donors, same top donors. So how is Chuck Schumer gonna stand up for the Democratic Party when they pick up the phone and bully him and tell him we're gonna pull the money away from you? He's like a kid, right? He's like a little kid when your dad doesn't want to give you an allowance, right? And you're waiting on it and you really want that allowance. And you're like, please, please, please give me my allowance. I'll do anything to get the allowance, right? He says, I'll do anything to get that allowance. Please, boss, please, daddy, whatever you want. I need my allowance. And your dad says, okay, you want to get an allowance? You got to do these chores. He gives you a list of chores, right? And then he gives you $1 and says, hey, that's all I have. Here's $1. You were expecting way more money, but you never had negotiated how much he was going to give you, right? You didn't dare because you know your dad was too powerful, right? He could control the money and he could control the belt. He could decide which one you would get, the money or the belt, right? So you just cave and you don't say nothing, even though you know that you were expecting more money, right? This is the same thing with Democrats and Chuck Schumer. They're gonna try to take a stance, but have become so lazy and so dependent on the corporate handouts of Big Daddy. Big Daddy is the lobbyist. Big Daddy is the um, APAC. Big Daddy will control the narrative, right? Will control the narrative. And so that's why they won't fight against Trump, no matter how incompetent Trump is, no matter how low Trump's popularity is, right? What is he at 33%? And you still can't find a way to fight against him or to keep him from doing the stuff he does, right? You're so compromised. You're so compromised that you can't fight him, right? You can't fight the big money because the big money controls you. the big money controls your whole house. You eat off of that, right? It's like, right? He's feeding you. You don't dare speak up and open your mouth, right? Because you know if you speak too loudly, you're gonna get hit, right? As much as you say, that's what happens with these Democrats. That's why they get nervous. That's why they get nervous, right? They get super nervous and they don't speak up or speak out, right? They don't speak up or speak out because they know they don't want to get you upset, right? They don't want anyone getting upset at them. So they speak up, they speak out, right? And they don't want no problems, right? They don't want no problems with the party bosses, with the mega donors that support them and support Donald Trump, that play both sides, right? Rich people play both sides, people. Do you realize that? Rich people play both sides. They write checks for everyone. They do LLCs, they do PACs. They write checks because they don't want to be left in the outside. So they'll support Republicans and they'll support Democrats, right? Elon Musk says he's supporting um, Republicans. He's spending $300 million, right, on these elections. And the reality is that he doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap. If a Democrat wins, guess what? He'll jump ship and go with the Democrats. He'll just write them a check and let whisper in their ear, let them know what he expects. Oh no, but there's no coordinating. All right, people. There's no coordinating. But if they write you a multi-million-dollar check, right? They write you a multi-million-dollar check, several $1 million, and they're paying your bills. They're paying your hospital bill. They're paying your granddaughter's bills. They're paying your mortgage, right? They're paying your office space. They're paying your staff. They make you look strong. Can you say what? I don't know what that means. Double tap the screen. Everyone, double tap the screen, double tap the screen, like the live, share the live, whatever channel you're on. I'm right now streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, Substack, TikTok. Hit the like, hit the share button, hit the follow button. Make this channel a popular channel. And let me start making some jokes, right? I think jokes is what gets Trump pissed more than anything, right? Uh, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, so many people have gone down making jokes against Trump and making jokes against the Trump administration. And so I got to make jokes also about the Democrats too. They're so soft. And the reason why the Democrats are so soft is because they get so much money from mega donors. They wouldn't shut down the government You know why they wouldn't shut down the government? Because they know that they get that boss call. Remember when Schumer shut down the government the first time around? He got that boss call, and they told him, "Listen, you can't be shutting down the government because um, you just can't. You just can't shut down the government." All of a sudden, he was like, I'm not opening the government. I'm not gonna make no deal with the Republicans." All of a sudden, he got that boss call saying, "Hey, you're costing us money. Stop costing us money. Stop. Let's go. Let's open up the government. We're losing money. Let's go." That's it. Boom. All of a sudden, he reverses the statement he releases, and all of a sudden, he's like not caring about whatever he said. And people are like, "What? But you said this." They hold receipts up, they show video, the same thing that Trump does. You could show him a video of something he said, and he'll be like, "Fake news, fake news. I never said that." And you're like, "But Mr. President," you see the press conferences? "Mr. President, Mr. President," they're begging for a question. "Mr. President, Mr. President, uh, what did, can I ask a question?" "Yes, you may speak, my young child. Just don't ask no hard questions. It has to be a softball question. If not, it's going to happen to you like Jim Acosta. Remember Jim Acosta from CNN? He doesn't work in CNN anymore, right? A lot of people. Jorge Ramos, what was it, Univision? He used to ask him some hard questions. Trump was like, "Yo, listen," he made that boss call back and said, "Get this guy out of the White House. We're revoking your pass. Uh, we're revoking your pass to the White House. You can no longer cover and have the honor and dignity of covering uh, our press conference, our honorable and truthful press conference. You can no longer cover it. Sorry, Mr. President, Mr. President." But, um, you know, it's like they want to apologize right on the floor, right? What news station are you with? ABC News. Fake news. Fake news. You're fake news. You're the bad journalist. You make me mad. He's like he wants to say, "You make me upset," right? So there's elections tonight in Michigan, Virginia, Kansas, Missouri, and Washington. Also federal elections. So when they ask him a question, they're like, "Please, Mr. President, please, please hit the follow button, people. You're not hitting the follow button. You gotta hit the follow button. Hit the follow button. You can send gifts however you want. Um, my Cash App is $ Old Man Labor. $Old Man Labor. So, Mr. President, please, um can I shine your shoes, Mr. President?" "Oh no, don't do that. My wife does that." And you're like, "What? Your wife does what? Where is she?" "Oh, fake news, fake news. Asking questions. I told you the rules that were issued by the White House. The rules issued by the White House are you cannot ask any hard questions. You cannot ask about my family. You cannot ask about Melania. You cannot ask about Barron Trump, especially not Barron Trump. Barron Trump is a billionaire, sir. Um, no, no, he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Um, because he worked hard. He worked hard, and he made some money on his own with no help of mine, with no information. Oh, but he bet on cryptocurrency, and he bet on these gambling apps that with inside information. No, he didn't. Fake news, fake news. Here's the receipts. Fake news, fake news. New York Times. Okay, he calls on the New York Times, and the New York Times reporter got some information about the plane, the big beautiful plane, the big beautiful plane that they gifted him, and it's out of commission. The plane is out of commission because it's being fixed. Who told you that? Fake news, fake news, fake news. My acting attorney general, give that guy, send that guy some subpoenas. Make him shut his mouth. For Mr. President, we're not in a dictatorship. We're not, you can't do that. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Uh, the reflecting pool is turning green, Mr. President. We have pictures of the reflecting pool turning green. It's not green. It's blue. It's blue. It's majestic blue. Wow. For Mr. President, we seen the newspaper. Which newspaper was that? Um, there's no evidence or proof that the guy's an Olympic um gold medal winner, and all he did was touch the paint that had already peeled off. I don't agree with that. That's not true. That's not true because I said that he broke the pool. He broke the pool. So if he broke the pool, I said he broke the pool. So that means he broke the pool is broken. He broke it. Let's get him. Let's get him. But Mr. President, that's not how we do things. And you said that they were going after you, the swamp. All right, off the record. Off the record, I am the swamp. I am the swamp, and I'm gonna appoint my lawyer, Todd Bland. Oh no, not my lawyer. I mean, he's not my lawyer. He's my former lawyer. He used to represent me, but he doesn't represent me anymore. I'm gonna appoint him to Attorney General of the United States. But Mr. President, that will be a conflict of interest. What conflict of interest? I'm gonna make my own rules. I'm gonna make my own rules. There are no more conflicts of interest if you're my friend. If you're my friend and I like you, there are no conflicts of interest. So he calls Janine Pirro. She dropped the charges against the gold medalist. She dropped the charges. Trump called her in yesterday for a big meeting. I'm disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed in you, Miss Pirro. I'm disappointed in you. I really watch your shows. I was a fan. I watch you deal with those cases, and I thought that you will do the same. You will do the same with the cases I give you. For Mr. Trump, TV cases are different than real life cases. I don't care. Um, I don't care. Make sure that you blame him for the reflecting pool. But we dropped the charges. We can't just bring the charges back. I don't care what you do, but make sure somebody pays for it. Somebody pays for the pool, and then they put a fence around it. They put heat sensors, where they put cameras around it. They put security all around the dome, right? Right? They put sensors around the dome to make sure no one can touch it. Meanwhile, big chunks of paint are falling off. So they had to drain the pool, right? Which costs a lot of money. And now it turns out that the people he hired were people that had worked on my Lagos pool, or he's like, who's the pool people? Send them over here and tell them to fix the majestic pool. Like, brother, like, come on. Like, at a certain point, somebody got to tell him, listen, ease into him, right? Tell him the truth. I know dealing with elderly people is not easy, right? Having elderly parents that are hard headed a lot of times is not easy, right? It's not easy to deal with parents that are elderly at all, right? So somebody got to lay into him and tell him the truth. But every time somebody tells him the truth, they get fired, right? So now everyone else caught on to the game. They're like, yo, listen, we're not going to tell him the truth because every time you tell him the truth, people get fired, right? Look what happened to Christy Nome. Look what happened to so many other people, right? They got fired so badly that no one knows what happened to them, right? No one knows what happened to them. Everyone, hit the like button, hit the share button. If you're on TikTok, hit the share button. It don't cost nothing. If you're on X, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Facebook, hit the like button, hit the share button. On Instagram, hit the like button. If you're on Substack, subscribe, right? Subscribe, right? So let's check on the Senate race that we're supposed to check on, right? So Trump right now doesn't know what to do with Iran. He claimed that he had Iran under control, that Iran was begging for a deal, right? Iran was begging for a deal, right? They said Iran is begging for a deal. I'm gonna flatten them. I'm gonna wallop them. I'm gonna hit them with everything we got. We're gonna hit them with everything we got. Everything we got. And then now he backed down. Once again, he backed down, as always. and now says Iran is begging for a deal. So I decided not to wallop them. I decided not to hit them hard because they're begging for a deal. They call Iran and ask Iran if they had reached a deal. Iran comes out and says they never spoke to President Trump. They never spoke to Trump. So who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Right? Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like button, hit the share button. Come on, people. We're falling behind. We're falling behind. Right? Like Trump was behind. He's getting nervous right about now, right? What did M- Mike Johnson say? Mike Johnson said, if we lose the midterms, we're all going to be investigated. A lot of people are going to go to jail, right? If we lose the midterms. What did Steve Bannon say? Steve Bannon said, if we lose the midterms, a lot of the people in this room are going to be in jail. Same comments, right? Like, give us money because, like, you're in trouble. I'll defend you. I'll defend you. Like, whoa. So now you're going to put in charge the man that defended you against Epstein's charges, right? Is that possible? You could do that? Right now, Abdul El Sayed is winning 62% of the vote versus Haley Stevens, 34% of the vote. Right now is a wipeout. He's wiping her out, right? But I don't want to speculate. I don't want to call it until it happens. So El Sayed, Abdul Muhammad El Sayed is winning 62% to Haley Stevens 34%. And the counting has begun in Michigan, right? The counting has begun in Michigan. So don't get nervous. Don't get nervous, people. Just accept it. Accept it. Accept it. Your president is nervous. He's itching, right? He's itching. His his he's he's getting real nervous. He's getting real nervous, everyone. Abdul Sayed is getting very making Donald Trump itch, right? Because the Democrats need to pick up 4 seats in the Senate, and in the House of Representatives, they have a narrow majority. And so, if you bring in people that are Democratic socialists, right, that don't want to sell out, refuse to take money from corporate interests now that they're running, Big Daddy gets pushed to the side. Their money doesn't count because they don't have money. All they could do is armchair quarterback, right? Armchair quarterback. You're gonna armchair quarterback. You're gonna act like you have running the show, but you're not running the show. All you could do is spend from the outside and not the inside. Steve Bannon said it. Mike Johnson said it. There's going to be a lot of people in this room that are going to go to jail if Democrats win, right? A lot of people are going to be exposed. A lot of people are going to be subpoenaed. A lot of people are going to be having to respond and having to testify in front of Congress. And that's a reality, right? So Abdul El Sayed is winning big time. And so this is getting a lot of people nervous, very nervous. It's getting a lot of people nervous. Are you nervous? So Top Land, they saying was just passed over. He was approved by the Judiciary Committee to be considered by the full Senate for the position of Attorney General, right? Imagine that. This is the same guy that this is the same guy. Long page. Let me see.
Streamed and the election.
So they brought out the big guns. They have CNN, they have Van Jones leading the charge. Michigan Senate race poses key test for the Democratic Party's rise, right? Abdul El Sayed, they got him at 55.1%. Stevens, they got him at got her at 39.4%. And let me tell you something about Van Jones. He took so much money from Big Daddy, different Big Daddies, right? These people got several daddies, right? They don't just have one daddy. They have several daddies that feed them and make them feel good, right? Everyone double tap the screen, like the live, share the live. I need everyone double tapping the screen wherever you are. You gotta double tap the screen, like the live, share the live. You could share and share. If you want to support the channel, $ Old Man Labor, $ Old Man Labor on Cash App. If you want to support the channel, right? I appreciate you, and I appreciate every single one of you on all the platforms that we're on, right? I appreciate you all for everything that everyone does to support the channel. So this is who they have on CNN. Van Jones, uh, supposedly a Democrat, uh, the expert, talk about, hey, if um if they run out Abdul El Sayed, the what's gonna happen is that Mike Rogers is gonna win in the general because I said so. But what's your proof? I'm a Democrat. close borderline, almost Republican, but I'm a Democrat. So listen to his opinion, right? Listen to Van Jones' opinion.
Tonight. Why is that?
They're pushing hard on the narrative that black voters are going to listen to a black person, right? And so they're going to bring in the guns because they know Michigan has a lot of black people in the population. But the thing is that people vote for ideas. They look at character more than anything else, right? So why are you pushing for Haley Stevens is a white woman, El Sayed is a brown person. So why are you pushing for Haley Stevens so hard? It's not about identity, but I mean, if that was the case, if we're gonna play identity politics, we could play with their rules, right?
It's because there is a credibility gap that's opened up between the Democratic Party establishment and this insurgency. People are looking
So they always
at
talk
people and
about
saying,
the
you've been telling us
insurgents.
the same thing for a long time and our lives are not any better. We got Donald Trump twice. There's also an innovation gap. Why can you spend $60 million and get whooped like this? Because the old model was you get the donors to get the consultants to buy a bunch of ads and you win. That's how you get attention. This movement says, I don't need donors, ads, I don't need consultants. I'm going right to the people with TikTok and grassroots, and they've disintermediated the entire donor class.
So this is worrying, right? He got to be worried. Van Jones is a consultant. He gets paid millions of dollars to go on these shows to give his opinion on politics, right? So now, if you have volunteers that are probably know just as much as you do about politics, read it just as much as you do, probably more, don't wear expensive suits, are just regular people that feel the same thing, all working class, know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. People will listen more to their neighbors than a talking head on a Fox News program that's getting paid by APAC, getting paid by all these big money interests and lobbyists, right? Why would you listen to the big money lobbyists like Mr. Jones, right? Why would we listen to Van Jones?
Disintermediated the entire consulting class, and this is a revolution. And so this is going to happen again and again. The Democratic Party is now Blockbuster. These kids are Netflix. We are selling CDs out the trunk. This is Napster becoming Spotify, and it's happening tonight.
So, Scott.
And the thing is, they see everything from a corporate elitist perspective. And that's their flaw. That's their biggest flaw, that they see everything from a rich person's perspective, right? So they cannot compute. It doesn't compute in their head that maybe everything's not about money. Maybe people want to live better lives. People want to be happy. They don't want to have to work 80, 90, 100 hours a week to survive. They want to spend time with their families. They want to spend time with their families. They don't want to just be all the time working, all the time, you know, unstoppably working and not being able to pay their bills. No one wants to pay $5 a gallon for gasoline. No one wants to pay $5 a gallon for gasoline. Ridiculous. If you think that's the cool way to do things, hell no, it's not. Right? It's not. Nobody wants to spend their whole paycheck on bills, on utilities, on a Donald Trump phone, on a Donald Trump Bible, right? You got to have disposable income to be able to buy that stuff, right? To be able to order that stuff. But if you don't have disposable income, how are you going to be able to afford these things that you really want, right? How are you going to afford these things that you really want, right? Or Donald Trump cryptocurrency, right? Who doesn't want to just lose all their money in cryptocurrency, right? Who doesn't want to lose all their money, right? Isn't that the American dream to be able to invest in uh in junk crypto and make Donald Trump richer? Isn't that the American dream? Isn't that why people work so hard? So they can make Trump richer? He doubled his net worth. Doubled. He was going bankrupt with all the lawsuits. He was being prosecuted in 3 different states. He was going bankrupt. He made deals with the Saudis. They pumped money into his golf clubs, into his hotels. He made a lot of deals with the Middle Eastern countries. And Israel asked that he wipe out Iran. And he's like, yes, sir, I'll wipe them out, but just make sure I don't go under and make sure I get reelected. Push hard for me to get reelected. I'll do anything. And I said, people selling their souls and they're like, you're very kind. You're very kind. They probably don't have a soul, right? Everyone, I need you to cooperate. Hit the share, hit the like button. Let's expand. Let's get more people in here. Come on, people. Let's get more people in here. So I won't report on the Trump family, right? I won't report on the Trump family because, they don't like them. I won't talk about how much money Barron Trump made because Barron Trump made a lot of money off of um, those crypto deals, apparently. Also betting on things. What was it? Which company was it? It was like one of those betting companies that he bet a whole bunch of money and made a lot of money, right? So all his kids are millionaires. All his kids are doing good, but most other people don't have the luxury or the luck to have 150 buildings, inherit 150 buildings. As much as you say, "Oh, I love Trump. I love Trump." Keep waiting. Keep waiting for that phone. Keep waiting for that phone that you paid for, and it's not coming. Keep waiting for that hat that you ordered that's not coming. Keep waiting for that whatever you ordered when you can't get your refund because there's no refunds. You've been got. You've been bamboozled. You've been tricked. Just like your vote, you can't get your vote back, no matter what. You can't just now say, "Oh, I was defrauded. I didn't want no new wars, and we got new wars." You can't say that. You can't take it back because that's the reality. You voted for him, now you got to eat it, right? But the thing is, we're all eating it now. We're all eating it now because of your lack of care for others, for your lack of respect for yourself and for others. We told you, we warned you. We're jumping up and down, waving our hands, letting you know that it was a bad decision to vote for this man. You didn't want to listen to us. You said, I know what I'm doing. The same thing I told my parents when I was younger, and I thought I knew everything. And I thought that that's the beautiful part about it. That no matter what, we got to stick it out and stick together. We got an Iran war. Remember when Trump said he wasn't going to start no new wars? You ate that up, right? You ate that up. You ate that up. You ate it like cheesecake in the Cheesecake Factory, right? You ate that up. It was like dessert for you, right? It confirmed that you were making the best choice possible. So when oil was shooting up, you're like, yeah, it's good for us. But guess what? The oil companies, Chevron, Shell, BP. Remember when Trump said, when prices are high, we make a lot of money. He wasn't lying. All these oil companies have reported record profits. They reported record profits on your back while you suffer, the rich get richer, and what are we gonna do? We can sit back and watch ourselves get walloped. Watch ourselves get walloped. Watch ourselves, right? Watch us get walloped. Big time, right? Big time. Let's go, people. Double tap the screen, share the live, share the live. Okay. Let me make a Melania joke. No. I'm tempted, but I know that's off limits. I know that's off limits. We can't make fun of Melania, right? No matter how big her hat is. You know what I mean? She put that hat on. Remember the inauguration? She put on that hat so Trump won't try to kiss her. But she was like, yo, he's gonna go in for it. He's gonna go in and embarrass me in front of the world. I'm gonna have to kiss him. That's not part of the deal. We have a contract. We have a no touch, no kissy contract. Oh no, that was a prenup, right? That's being renegotiated during the Stormy Daniels. Remember during the Stormy Daniels um conflict, she got upset and she demanded more money. She's a millionaire. She's a millionaire now. I know you're shocked, right? Melania Trump is a millionaire. She got books. She gets money from Trump every month. She's doing good. Imagine that. Will you marry a 80-year-old woman or 80-year-old man if they paid all your bills, had you living in luxury, had you living the good life, but you couldn't stand them? Will you accept that deal? Will you accept that type of deal? Will you still marry a man that you can't stand? Or marry a woman you can't stand because you're getting some type of benefit out of it? How many of you would do that? I know, stop lying. Stop lying. You would just, you wouldn't mind being a millionaire or billionaire, right? So what do you think? So who do you think is gonna win, right? So let's see the results a little bit more, right? Let's see the results a little bit. Live. Democrats, Republicans compete to replace Whitmer in Michigan gubernatorial primaries. Um, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is on track to secure the governor's race. Uh, John James secured President Trump's endorsement in the contest against businessman Harry Johnson. Former Michigan Attorney General Mike Cox um, will also appear on the GOP ballot despite suspending his campaign and endorsing James. Polls close at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Follow decision desk and let's see. Why did I talk about Abdul Mohammed Al Sayed? Right? This is an interesting race, right? Abdul is an interesting race. Why? He's not a democratic socialist, but he has a lot of positions that are close to democratic socialists. He says he's a capitalist. He says what he has to do, and I appreciate you all. You can join the fan club, everyone. You can subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel for a small fee. Support this channel wherever you are. Support the channel. Um, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I won't be out for long, right? Burning out my voice for you, the people, right? Burning out my voice for you, the people, you know? So, right now in Missouri, let's see the results in Missouri. Uh, okay, so polls are closing in the high stakes Michigan Democratic primary, right? Okay, Donovan McKinney, 50%. Corey Bush is getting walloped so far, but we'll see. We don't want to assume anything. So, what do you think? Do you support democratic socialists? Do you support democratic socialists in America? Right? Everyone, double tap on the screen, like the live, share the live. Let's talk about the races. Who are you voting for? If you're in Michigan, who are you voting for? If you're not in Michigan, who are you voting for? Put it in the comments below. Who are you supporting? Are you supporting Abdul Al Sayed, or are you calling it? Who are you calling it for? Who you voting for? That's the most important thing. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Who are you voting for? Everyone, I appreciate you joining me. You gotta get in the game. Hit the like, hit the share button, double tap the screen. I appreciate you all. X is busy. X is busy. We got almost 30 people watching on X. TikTok, sometimes we have 100 and something people, sometimes 200. Yesterday we hit 500. Um, it's just the name of the business, right? The name of the business is that we gotta be happy with the results of the election. That apparently Cori Bush in Missouri is getting wiped out. She's a Democratic Socialist candidate. Um, she's running, right? She's running to defeat. So supposedly Cori Bush, it's going to be hard for her to overcome, right? I think it's going to be hard to overcome the um the election results. It seems like Cori Bush lost in Missouri. I'm looking at the results as they come in, right? Let's see. Let's look at some more results. They're just coming in now, right? The results of the elections. Okay. Okay. I hope LSA wins. I think Michigan will right the ship in the general. Perino, I think that remains to be seen. It's hard to stop a freight train. So, so Republicans really want um, Haley Stevens to win. You know why they want Haley Stevens to win? They know she's a lot weaker candidate, right? They know she's a lot weaker candidate. So APAC is spending $61 million. APAC is spending $61 million on behalf of Haley Stevens. Haley Stevens already stopped campaigning for the day, right? That just shows her um how she feels, right? She stopped campaigning. El Sayed is still out there campaigning. Just arrived at campaign headquarters. Um, Haley Stevens stopped a long time, hours ago. By like 2 p.m., she was already done campaigning for the day. She was already had called it quits. So it just shows $61 million spent on Haley Stevens, and the mega donors are not happy, right? The mega donors that donated so much money, right? It was the mega donors are calling in their favors, right? because they would let Steven win because they don't care. It will be Stevens against Rogers. Either way, they win. They wouldn't care who wins in that general. Either way, they'll have a pro-Israel person in Michigan. But so far, it looks like Abdul Al Sayed is leading. Uh, in St. Louis, it looks like um, Corey Bush is losing. Hit the like button, everyone. Hit the share button. I appreciate you joining me. Um, the jokes are off, right? No more joking because these people can't be serious. Fox News is covering it. You know, Fox News Entertainment. Yeah, Fox News Entertainment is covering the election. They're saying it's a far left stress test. El Said Stevens faced off in Michigan Senate primary.
But
So
to
they
your
think
point,
this is a stress test. So that means
if you
that
put them head to head, so right now El Sayed is beating Haley Stevens, but Mike Rogers is beating him solidly. So as GOP, go ahead. I hope he wins. Because thankfully, I think Michigan will right the ship in the general.
I think that remains to be seen. It's hard to stop a freight train.
I just think people aren't voting. They're just not interested.
Interesting. And also in Wisconsin, you can have same-day registration. So look out from the universities, right, in Madison. All right, coming up.
But to your point, if you put them head to head,
so there's going to be a big test of the whole system. Hakeem Jeffries is watching. Everyone is watching because it's like, who's going to run for president? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Kamala Harris is polling at 5% again. She's not very popular. You could join, hit the like button, hit the follow button. You can join the channel. Join the channel. Let's talk about it. We're talking about 2026. The midterms are going to be very important. It could define Donald Trump's tenure. His popularity is on the floor. And if he starts getting investigated, they start issuing subpoenas. They start doing investigations on his administration, and all the things that they have done is going to be crazy because I don't think he's going to cooperate, and I don't think his administration is going to cooperate. They're not going to cooperate with Congress. They can issue subpoenas over and over, thousands of them, try to force them to testify. But the Supreme Court's probably gonna defend them. It's gonna keep them from, right, from having to testify. So, and answer questions. Todd Blanche is gonna be, more chances are, the Attorney General. I don't know why he would want that job. He didn't see what happened with the last Attorney General. He didn't see how she was just fired for not pleasing Trump. Does he realize that it's not something easy to please Trump? Why? He's a millionaire lawyer. Why would he want to be in charge of the Justice Department? Right? Why can't he be happy with just um, being a multimillionaire lawyer? Right? He's not happy. They're never happy, right? They're never happy with what they have. They always want more. They always want more. Um, they want more and more from everyone. They refuse to be humble, right? They refuse to be humble or eat some humble pie. They're always going to ask for um, more than everyone else, right? They're always gonna ask for more um, to be happy, right? So Todd Blanche is his attorney general, acting attorney general, passed uh, passed the Judiciary Committee. He passed the Judiciary Committee, right? And they passed him forward, and most chances are, all Republicans are going to fall behind him. So imagine that. There's no conflicts of interest anymore. There's no like, oh, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Oh no, that's illegal. Quid pro quo, right? Imagine that. Imagine Watergate would have happened in um in this area, this time. Imagine Watergate would have happened. It probably nothing would have happened. There would have not been no investigation. There would have not been anyone resigning. It would just be like, okay, so what? No big deal. No big deal. This is what people do. They're politicians. They break the law. So what? Move on. Stop complaining. Stop complaining, people. This is what we do. I'm just acting like Donald Trump. Don't think that that's me, right? Why should we care? Why should we care about money? So that's the problem. Who cares about money? We care about money, right? We care about money. I don't know about you, but it's getting increasingly hard with this economy to stay afloat, right? Many businesses are struggling, and Trump doesn't care. Trump does not care. He's like, so what? We're making money. We're making money. I don't care if you're not making money. If you're not making money, it's because you're a sucker. You're a loser. You haven't done enough fraudulent things. You're willing to be, how can I say, understanding, right? You're willing to be understanding. And so Co- Cory Bush was just announced to have lost. Wesley Bell won. Wesley Bell is a, how can I say, multi-million dollar person, right? Multi-million dollar person. AIPAC spent a lot of money. He wrote a letter to ICE saying that thanking them for their service. He took so much money from AIPAC, the Israel lobby. He took a lot of money from AIPAC, but Wesley Bell had just beat Cory Bush. And what was the reason why? It's like once you lose, it's hard to regain that momentum, right? Cory Bush was there before. She lost, tried to run again, and she lost, right? Disappointing, but how can I say? Do people care about AIPAC? Do people care about APAC? Do people care about corporate money in politics? Right? Do people care that money being pumped into our politics? Foreign money, um, corporate money is being pumped into our politics. You think people care that much about what happens in these elections? Let's listen to Mr. Vegas. Let's listen to Mr. Vegas, what he has to say. How you doing, Mr. Vegas?
How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing?
Sitting here watching the Michigan election.
And so am I. So, what do you think about I'll do it outside?
They're electing another Democrats are electing another Democrat socialist or communist.
I'll do it outside. Say he
It's funny.
wait up. I'll do it outside. Say he's not a
Oh,
socialist.
God.
I'll do.
This is how you get around
He,
Braddock.
he's a capitalist. He said it. I'm a capitalist. I'm not a democratic socialist.
This is
I
how
wish he was.
this is how the socialists slash communists get around it.
I wish.
If they were labeled as full-blown communists, they could get their citizenship revoked. There's a law on the book saying that if you're a full-blown communist, you get your citizenship revoked. That's why you go, oh, we're they socialists. We'll just call ourselves socialists.
No, there's a big difference. Mr. Vegas, why do I always have to explain to you that there's a big difference between
What's the difference, man? Labor? You guys want to have control and means production.
no, that's
Price.
communism. No, that's communism. What are you talking about?
That's
Like,
exactly what you guys are doing.
no, it's not.
What you want,
It's not. No,
right?
it's not.
Grocery prices controls, price controls. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
But that's not.
It's nuts. Your party's nuts. It's going hardcore left. It's nut. Okay, I'm loving this. Even Democrats like Bill Maher is leaving your party. Leaving your party. They said, you guys are fucking nuts. You're nuts.
Bill Maher is a rich man. Bill Maher has a $150 million deal with HBO. So he's gonna do whatever. Listen, he's a corporate lackey. He's gonna do whatever the corporate entities tell him to do. You think he cares about Democrat or Republican? You think Bill Maher is the voice of reason or the voice of morals?
Thrives to be rich. What's wrong with being rich and labor? Why can't people live on? You know what you want? What socialists want? They want everybody to stay equal. So, like the person who works the most and busts their fucking ass off, you leftists, and the person that doesn't want to work as hard get the same amount of pay as that person who busts their ass off and do the most work. That's what you leftists want. Which one?
We want a world where things are equal, where the world is where people have an equal shake, where there's a balance of power. Hold on, where there's a balance of power, and where people are allowed to thrive. So we're America first. We definitely are America first, but we actually mean it, right? We actually hold on, Mr. Vegas.
Relax for about
Hold on, Mr. Vegas.
12 hours, and then you can make more money. Okay.
Okay.
What you want?
No, Mr. Vegas, that's not even true. That's just
Yeah, that is 100% true. You know it.
Mr. Vegas. We're gonna keep going over this. The roads were built, right? The roads are paid for by taxpayers, but the rich benefit from it. So you okay with Amazon, or all these other companies paying their workers so little bit of money?
Some piece of work that's pretty good. I don't know what to talk about. Over $20 an hour is not bad.
Yeah, but a lot of
That's
but
where you live at.
um,
Not bad at all.
for most of the workers are on Medicaid or on food stamps to supplement their income.
No,
Do
because
you realize that?
they're living out of their means. That they're living out of their means. They're living out of their means. They're buying expensive stuff that they shouldn't buy, and they're over stretching their money. That's what it is. So if they're paying the good amount of money and they're living without their means, then that's when
So that's
when
your
it's
argument that they're living above their means.
absolutely.
So your argument is always going to be that people should
I
be.
will blame the person who wants to be a lazy bitch and
So
not being the person that wants to who's wanting to be a lazy bitch to sit there and work.
what about what? Okay, hold on.
Honest, that person is working full 40 and busting his ass and wants to get paid more. Then I'm going to blame the lazy bitch. I want to be a lazy person.
What about? Let me ask you. What about the elderly person that has been working their whole life and been paying back?
How old is this person?
No, I'm saying elderly person that been working all their life, paid into Medicaid, paid into Medicare, been paying their taxes. Yeah, somebody in their 70s, in their 80s,
There's some of us that are retired and that's
and they can't afford, and they can't afford. Hold on, they can't afford to survive. They can't afford to live. You're saying that they shouldn't get any type of help or assistance to live a better life?
get plenty of assistance in front, plenty of Medicaid, Medicare, plenty of they get their Social Security, whatever. Most old people know how to do it. Get work the
Do
system.
you do,
Absolutely.
do you know what's the average? You know what's the average Social Security check?
Probably about I'm gonna say about your full security check. I'm saying is probably about 2,500 or something like that.
No.
Full.
You know what's the average Social Security check?
Average is in like the low end or the high end. Like
Average. It's an average.
Okay, well, some people get 1,500 a month. Some people get
Yeah,
2,500 a month.
but what's the average? What's the average
You don't know.
Social Security check?
500 a month or what?
$725 a month,
Okay, all right.
right?
I
So imagine an elderly person that became sick, can't work, and by no fault of their own, can't afford their rent because the rent is $2,000, $3,000, and they only get $700 a month to survive.
Oh shit, that's a lot, old man.
A lot of places have that amount of rent.
Yeah, you're overextending yourself, man.
No, there's a lot of places that the rent is that high across the country. Where have you been? Not just New York City. There's a lot of places, a lot of cities, and a lot of even rural places where the prices of the rent have gone up like crazy.
And there's probably rich areas or in the city areas. Absolutely. Not in the rural areas, not outside.
You sure about that?
Yeah, mainly around paying like for a townhouse. I rent a townhouse, paying like $850. Okay, for 2 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and an awesome kitchen and a back patio. Absolutely, $850.
Yeah, but that's in
Rent.
Ohio.
Each rent. Yeah, Ohio, exactly.
That's
Because
different.
because our government is ran by conservatives and they don't price gouge your taxes to raise your rent, and stuff. Where
I don't know.
your government that's ran by Democrats mostly, why have your price of living went up?
So you telling me the majority of people in Ohio are living large?
The majority of people, a lot of people here in Ohio, besides the cities, the inner cities where they always have higher price rates because they're ran by Democrats. The people that are in the rural and the country and stuff, they do pretty well. They live pretty decently.
So you telling me that there is no the gas is good, the prices are good, there's no
Gas.
inflation,
For gas, a week ago or something like that for 3.
there's no inflation.
There's, and like I said, the inflation, the only reason why inflation or grocery prices are up the way they are is because of Biden.
So do you
The prices. But Trump brought down the inflation. The inflation's down because of Trump. Down to, maybe 3.
and do you support the data centers that they're trying to build for artificial intelligence?
Just to build an higher, the data centers.
Yeah.
I could care less.
So you don't care about the water being
I don't
considered,
care.
the Ohio River, the water being used up just to prop up data centers.
Data centers, I think it will benefit some. I think it benefits, there's good use out of data centers. But, I don't know exactly what they use data centers for. I mean,
Artificial intelligence computing.
I don't even know why a lot of the data centers, I mean, I don't know, we've had computers and all this crap back in the day without them, right? So it's not like we need all that stuff, so.
They need it to do the extra computing that
Yeah,
artificial intelligence does. So
yeah, I realize that, I know that.
you need more data centers, and they use up the water. They pollute the water, and a lot of states that allow them to be built, a lot of them are running low on water because it uses up a lot of water to cool the data centers. The massive computers that are running the artificial intelligence
Alright.
models. So is that okay with you? You don't really care about the environment?
I care about the environment. I just don't care to as extent you do, or the left do. I mean, I care about clean air and water. I do, but I just don't. I'm not one of those guys that every single day. Oh my gosh, the end of the world. I don't care.
So you don't care about clean water, clean air.
I tell you, I do care about it, but not to the extent that you guys do.
I mean, it's something that is life cannot be sustained without water or without clean air.
Yeah, I know that.
And we can't get it back. Once we destroy it, we can't get it back.
We're always gonna have water rains.
Yeah, but if we have acid rain and we have polluted water, where are we gonna get more water?
Uh, Believe me, mainly we're not the only ones that have data centers and stuff. China has them.
Okay.
I mean, China's the worst polluter in the whole entire world.
So because they're polluting like crazy, we gotta pollute like crazy.
We gotta keep up with them. Yeah.
So you're saying that a business is more important than people.
I'm gonna say that we need to keep up with. China's gonna eventually one day surpass us. This is going to happen. It's because of how many people they have.
Is it gonna happen because of Trump and all the policies that he has done? Because a lot of people, a lot of countries don't want to trade with us. They rather trade with China because China is not as unstable. China is not as volatile.
Our economy doing this. I remember when you told me, oh, the market's down like 1,000 points, and now look at it. It's still doing 54,000. The same.
Okay.
I'm sure we're outpacing most of the
Yeah, but the thing is,
other countries.
the thing is that most people don't own stock.
Mhm.
So high prices benefit companies because they make more profit, right? They're more profit margin, right? Because they're gonna make their money no matter what. You understand?
What's wrong with making money, man, labor?
I didn't say that.
Give them-
It's about gouging.
Guys, why do you guys need money?
It's about gouging and you gotta allow regular people to survive.
This gallons were different. I agree with you. Or if there are companies like oil companies, like how they're gouging in the United States, because we don't even have anything to deal with the oil over the Straits of Hormuz. They should be penalized big time.
Okay.
I believe that totally because I 100% believe that. And like if I was the president of the United States, that's what I would say. I would say, listen, you don't need your fucking oil, and if you don't stop the shit about price gouging us, we're gonna hit you hard with sanctions, and that's what's gonna happen. We don't need it, and that's what they need to say. I do believe that because we should not honestly be connected to the world market. We shouldn't be. And that's saying that we should not. We make enough oil here. We make enough energy here in the United States to be away from the world market as a consumer, and that's the truth.
But we're not. We are part of the world market.
I'm not saying we need to get away from it. We need to get away from the world market
How do
when
we
it
do?
comes to the energy.
How do we do that if we don't? We have we
Say, see
produce
you later, we're out of it.
we produce the most
We're
oil.
saying we're doing
How
our own thing, we're doing our own thing, we're getting our own gas, we're doing our own stuff.
we can't because we exploit so many countries.
We were like that back in the 80s and 90s, why not?
Yeah, but the thing is that oil can't last forever. It's a scarcity, right? It runs out eventually. So we gotta always be looking for
Yeah, it's like
new.
Canada, well, not so much Canada, because they've become indulged by the communist lifestyle as well, so not so much for them. But yeah,
I think that you gotta give democratic socialism a chance, Mr. Vegas.
yeah.
Open up your mind. Open up your mind. Give it a chance. Maybe you'll live better. To extend life expectancy.
Chance, oh man, how much do you make a month? I'll give it a chance. How much do you make a month?
$100 million.
Okay, then give me half of it, and I'll give it a chance. I'll work one less than you. You give me half of what you make.
But that's not how it works because we both gonna work. Yeah, but we both gonna work and we're gonna get you get 50 million, I get 50 million. We both gonna work and we won't have to work so much. So right now, I do 99% of the work. You do 1% of the work, and you get 99% of the money. I get 1%. Do you understand?
Sit back, relax. I'll do
That's the problem.
work.
That's the problem with the system we have now.
I'll let you do all the bitch work.
Yeah, but that's the system. But that's the system. That's the listen, Mr. Vegas. But that's the system we have now.
Shit.
What you just said about doing the bitch work, that's the system we have now. Do you realize that?
Who do their bitch work the hardest? Yeah, okay, so you're saying because people who own businesses, the CEOs, the ones who make the most, you shouldn't make the most because they are the owner and the backbone of the fucking company. And the ones who created the company, the ones who set the policies, they should make the most money. Are you shit?
I mean, so you're telling me that it's okay that I do 99% of the work and I only get 1% of the amount of money that the company makes when you only put in 1% of the work. But because you have money, you inherited money and you have money from your parents or from wherever sources you got the money from, you're allowed to keep all the majority of the money that's produced in the company and not share it with the worker, even though the worker's labor is the most expensive thing, because without labor, you wouldn't be able to make any profit, right?
All your moderators mute me.
Oh, they love muting you. Mr. Vegas, they love muting you. You know that, right? They can't stand you.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because you licked Donald Trump's bolas.
Oh, that's 100%.
You,
Yeah.
you see? So they're gonna get upset.
Oh, you're heard. So I'm speaking the truth about socialism, how much of a bitch it is.
Not everyone is
Gas bitches, socialism.
not everyone's making money right now. Not everyone's doing well, right?
What is socialism? A pussy. Woohoo! That's what it is. That's a bunch of bitches.
Not everyone's doing well right now, right? As much as you want to say that everyone's doing good, not everyone's doing well. What do you think, Demolition?
Yeah, I haven't heard a word you said. I just need you to see how quick it takes. Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Sit there and cry like a no. You shut the fuck up. Watch this. See? You shut the fuck up. Not just yeah, man. Please. You shut the fuck up. Let's get this thing pulled off. Right.
You know he can't. You know he's gonna get upset.
I know.
He loves Trump.
Girl.
He loves Trump. Remember when he said that if Trump was in Epstein file, he wouldn't vote for Trump, and now he says it doesn't. it doesn't really make a difference.
She's probably in there too. Probably gonna say that. He's cool with shit like that. Right?
Let him
You know,
let him respond. Let him respond.
you don't let me respond.
All right. So what do you think about that? That they're confirming that they're gonna confirm Todd Bland as Attorney General, Trump's personal lawyer to be Attorney General. Does that make sense?
It's good. Yeah.
It does, but he's his personal lawyer.
Lance good lawyer.
I understand, but he's his Donald Trump's personal lawyer. Do you understand the conflict there?
No, it's his choice of who he wants as a conflict of interest, moron. It's his choice.
Is the Department of Justice the Department of Justice supposed to be independent from the president? It has always
It's his choice on who he wants as. It's a conflict of interest. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
so
Yeah.
he's in charge of investigating everyone, including the president, and now he's buddies with the president, and he's gonna do whatever the president wants him to do, right? Including the Epstein files, right?
Okay.
That's why he
Trying
fired.
to get rid of those.
Yeah, that's why he fired all the other people because the other people,
Protect your fetal president.
the other people, the other people, the other people weren't playing around with that, right? They were like, "Nope, I'm gonna release it if I want to, and I don't care." Right? The other ones didn't want to play ball with Trump.
This trade is the pedo protector. And again, like I said, Epstein himself had any. Yeah, you're a pedo protector. No, it's you Democrats. No, you're a pedo protector. More Democrats around.
So it doesn't. You don't want to. So you don't want to see the list. You don't want to see the
Name
list.
three. Name three. Hurry up. Name three. Ah, you failed.
No, I'm saying. So you don't want to see the list, Mr. Vegas?
Do I want to see a list
Yeah.
or do I care about the list? I do. The difference here, like I said, if Democrats had anything on Trump, or he's a protector, he doesn't care. Democrats had nothing on Trump, neither did Epstein, and nothing happened.
I don't want. I don't. Then release the list.
Democrats had nothing on Trump.
Then release the files. Release the full files.
Again, if they had the goods on them, they would have used it. The Democrat Party would have, because they had the files before. That's a fact.
Release the files. That's all. Am I asking for a lot?
Release files. I have no problem with that. No, there was an active investigation. There was an active investigation going. You fucking moron. And there's still an You cannot open the files. There's an active investigation. There's still one going. No, there's not. Yes, there's. Who is on? There's plenty of things that they're still looking at. Still plenty of stuff. Name it. Go. I don't even know the whole case. Yeah, you don't know. You're just fucking out. Yeah. Well, we can take care of that. But you ain't gotta worry about talking no more. You stop bullshit and misinformation. You have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
So why is it like so
And
many
here you
files?
go.
Why is there so many files that can't be released? Like we're still waiting, and supposedly they're reviewing them. They're still reviewing them. They can't stop. You know, like what's going on, right?
Yeah, they can release a see. This is the thing. They're fighting. The Trump administration is fighting so hard for them not to release it.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm
And
saying.
he's in control of all three branches of government, so they got the power to do it.
Exactly. So they just,
Vegas is full of shit.
and he said he doesn't care.
Yeah, he changed his tune.
He changed his tune.
He's saying, "Oh, if he's in the Epstein files, then I'm not gonna support him." Now he's in there, right?
Mhm.
There are 302s documented with him in there doing all kinds of crazy shit to little girls, and now doesn't matter to him.
And boys, don't worry, don't think boys too.
Yep. Think that stuff was false, right? Yeah. He would try to sue them people for libel.
Exactly.
Doing that.
Exactly.
So discovery, you know.
No. Oh. So Abdul El Sayed, they're projecting him to be a winner in Michigan.
Who's that?
Abdul El Sayed,
Snap.
congratulations
Sure.
for Michigan Congress. He's a Democrat. He's fighting the establishment. Doesn't take any APAC money. Doesn't take any corporate money. He said he's not a democratic socialist. He said that he's a capitalist, but he's like a lot of his values are how can I say uh, aligned with democratic socialism. But he says he's not a democratic socialist.
That's a seat that's flipped, and if he wins that, right?
Yeah, I mean he has to run against Mike Rogers in the general, but um they spend $61 million to try to get him booted out. $61 million of Israel money. APAC. APAC spent $61 million just to try to keep him from winning. And he still was able to win. That's a big deal. Donald Trump is not happy. But he's gonna have to run against he's gonna have to face Mike Rogers in the general election. And Mike Rogers is a Republican, big Trump supporter. Um, Hopefully he gets his butt kicked because you already know what they said that if they lose the midterms, that there's gonna be a lot of people going to jail, right? That's what Mike Johnson said. Mike Johnson said it. Steve Bannon said it. I'm like, what are these guys doing that's so out of control and outrageous that they talk about people going to go to jail? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It has to be like some craziness. And uh, one of the congressional people said that um, there's nothing they could do as far as Congress to stop Donald Trump. They said, "Oh, there's nothing we could do to stop Donald Trump." That was Cornyn. Cornyn, Senator Cornyn. He said, "There's nothing the Republicans can do to stop Trump." So he's just gonna go along with whatever Trump wants. They recommended Top Lance to the judiciary. The judiciary voted to have him voted on in the Senate to be confirmed. Right?
Yeah.
Bizarre. And MAGA's hiding. MAGA's been hiding for a while. You know?
Oh yeah.
They don't want people to know what they really believe, right?
We can't assume this shit.
Yeah. And what happens to no wars? Remember they said no wars, no new wars. We're not gonna allow new wars. And what happened? We got the bigger war than Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, now we're in one that we can't get out of.
We're in a huge one, right? Apparently they said Saudi Arabia is gearing up to do some type of ground invasion. And so Saudi Arabia what was it on Friday bombed Saudi Arabia bombed Iraq, the Iraq military, the militias in the Iraqi mountains. Egypt got bombed, uh, Bahrain, United Emirates. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of countries. Ukraine blew up a few Iranian ships. uh, because Iran was providing drones to Russia. So China is like, you're gonna mess up our economy. They get 50% of their oil um they get 50% of their oil from the Middle East, from Iran in particular, from the Strait of Hormuz. So China's like, you know what? We're gonna provide launching pads for Iranian missiles, and they've been providing them with air defense systems like uh, rocket launchers, shouldered rocket launchers that have radar and are able to shoot down U.S. planes, right? So we already lost like 3 F-35s, and F-35s are extremely expensive.
They're gone for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. And the amount of ships, we have the Lincoln. What is it? The one of the uh, tankers is it has to be taken in for repairs. There's almost $1 billion in repairs needed because they said there was a fire in the kitchen, apparently, but it was more like they got hit with missiles and caught on fire. And they claimed that it was the kitchen caught on fire, which nobody believes. No one believes that story. So, Abdul Al Said, congratulations on your win in Michigan. Corey Bush, sorry that you lost. Um, sorry that you lost, Corey Bush. And everyone, I appreciate you for joining me. I'll be back on tomorrow. Um, thank God that Abdul Al Said has won his race. Corey Bush, sorry that you didn't win, but next time around we'll find uh, the sweet spot. Um, things need to change in our country, right? Things need to change. I appreciate you all for your time. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. All right. Take care.